All right, all right. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Let's do this. Nasty NASDAQ. All right, are we all set up here? It looks like we are. All right, happy Friday. Just woke up today. Ran a little bit of water through my hair, and that's it. So, hoping to get out of here pretty early today. Win, lose, or draw. All right, what do we got here? We're back. We're back in this range. I've been talking about this 800 to 23,000, 22,800 to 23,000 range for all week since last week, since I could think Wednesday or Thursday last week. We've tried to push out. If we take a look at let's take a look at the 5-minute. I've been talking about this range on the overnight, in the morning session in New York. Look how long this range is playing out, right? It's been playing out all week. We've tried to push up. We had that brutal flush down on the 9th. Push up, down, push up, down. Then we had the Canada news last night that the Bears had the chance to flush it and Bulls brought it back up. But we're still in that 22,800 to 23,000 range. A whole close going into 2 weeks trying to pop out. Not significant pops out yet. We've had more look above and fails. What's going to happen? Are the Bears finally going to pick this up? We had the Canada news yesterday. Morning, that other JC. Morning to everyone. We had the tariff news last night. That other JC tempted me. sent me a text, and I hopped on a little long playing that bounce with a couple of accounts, and got some green there. But one thing we do know, if you guys remember, I was on I think it was a Friday. I don't know if it was last Friday or the week before, where I got caught with my pants down without a stop on Canada News. And similar, we flushed, I think, 200, 300 points. I was stuck in a bad position where I had to finally close. And then eventually it reached a balance point and bounced right back up. It was a full V recovery. So one thing we've learned with Canada News does not seem to stick. Are the bulls going to pick it from here? Last night we saw a quick little bounce. We pulled back a little bit and then continued to bounce. We ranged up here in that 970 area, came right back down, and now we're right around yesterday's low. So if the bears are going to pick this up this morning, they obviously are going after that overnight low again, possibly pushing below finally that 800 range that we've been talking about all week. Have we had any movements below that range? I think not. Nope. Since once we pushed into it, we have not pushed below yet. So will today be the sell-off day with this Canada News catalyst? But the bears had the chance last night. They had the chance, and we were not able to break out of that 800 level yet. What am I watching for? Well, same thing, very similar to yesterday, right? We came into this range. I was hoping for a bounce sooner, eventually got the bounce out of that range. Today we're in the middle of this range, so I could see a potential push up to test this 950, 980 area. Potential rejection for a short. Vice versa, we test the bottom for a potential long. On the move to the bottom, though, not sure if I'm going to have... not sure if I'll jump that quickly on a long, considering we've been hovering here now for 2 weeks in this range. We've broken out a couple times, or fake outs, right? We've look above and fails above, testing even the 23,100 area, right? We've popped up, come back down, popped up, come back down. If we, right out of the gate, come down, I don't know what I'll do in this area yet. It depends on price action. I may have to be patient if it's going to continue to the downside. I may have to try to find a short. If we just rally, come back up here and test yesterday's close, and we see some rejection, I'll entertain a short up there. So we'll see. It's Friday. I don't have the best track record with Friday, so I may take it very easy today. Of course, I say that, and then I'm stuck in some crazy drawdown. But good morning to everyone. Thanks for tuning in. If you're new to the stream, do me a favor, help me out with that YouTube algo. Smash that like, smash that subscribe, and let's try to get some green today. 2 minutes. Wow, time flies. 2 minutes to the open. Let me set my 50-minute opening range. In terms of news, I think I checked. The news is not until 2 p.m. Hopefully, I'll be long gone by then. All right, we got 15-minute opening range alarm, and good luck to everyone. Let's try to keep it green. Let's see what this market gives us. But we're in the middle. We're in the middle of that 800 to 23,000. Unbelievable. 2 weeks in that range. All right, we got 30 seconds, and I'll be right back. Ten seconds. Casino opens in 10 seconds. Oh, wait a minute. You guys are not seeing me, huh? All right, there goes. Casino is now open. Just realized the camera is not on. There we go. All right, so good push up. Let's see what we do up here in that 950, 970 area. There's that push. Bulls saying no to the Canada tariffs. Little resistance up there. I'm watching for 970. Didn't quite make it up there. We made it as far as 960, and then the initial pullback. Let's be a little patient here. Let's see if they can push up to 970, and then we'll figure out what to do up there. All right, they're looking for that gap fill up there at 23,000, 2310. Struggling here at the 200. 200 SMA on the higher time frame, 5 minute. There we go. A little better for you guys. I'm watching it on another screen, but here we go. All right. We didn't get the 970 touch that I was looking for. Be a little more patient where I get caught in a trap up here. But that may have been the short at 960. I was watching for 970 and looks like I missed it. All right, let it go. Let's see if yeah, that was the short. God damn it. I was looking for 970 and market only gave me 960. It is what it is. Move on. Sometimes when I front run a move, I pay dearly. And then when I don't front run a level, last night was the same thing. I was waiting for a pivot point, didn't front run it and missed the move. Today I was waiting for 970 to short and only got 960. I didn't want to front run it, and that would have been the short of the day. Would have been done. Nasty NASDAQ. Just can't win. All right, we're testing VWAP. Looks like we're flushing right through that. See if the bulls can bounce here at the 9 and give us some type of bounce. Otherwise, bears seem to be in control right now. Gonna have to be patient and realize that I just missed. I was waiting for 970. Wasn't gonna front run the open, but that was the move. All right, they're struggling to bounce today, surprisingly. Interesting. So I guess we're gonna have to watch for what these bears want to do. They're really gonna sell off today, Friday sell off. We know that they want to target overnight low and possibly levels below 800, so we got time to participate in that short. Let's give it time to see what's going to happen here. We're right in the middle of a range too, 800 to 23,000. Bears seem to definitely start picking up some steam here, huh? All right, let's see if bulls have any bounce here and how far are they going to bounce this, if there's a bounce. Otherwise, I have to figure out a short entry, try to participate to the downside. We're at this pivot point right now, that 915 area. That was the pivot point I was waiting for last night for a bounce. Did not get it. So 2 days in a row, not front running a level. The night prior, I front ran a level and had a couple paper cuts. Can't win. Just can't win with, it's a toss. All right, looks like we are flushing below pivot point. It's a 20-point candle right there. Let's see if there's any bounce at the 200 SMA. That's the 1 minute 200 SMA. So let's see if there's any reaction here. Otherwise, we may have to hop on this short. Like a bounce before I participate in a short, though. I don't want to get trapped. All right, selling pressure's building here. It's a break of structure right there. Wow. Okay. What I don't want to do, get caught again like yesterday, longing too early on a falling knife. I'm going to watch it before I attempt a long, and aware that today could be a sell-off day. I may have to be careful on a long, kind of long this falling knife. All right, I'm going to attempt a bounce at the 200. Tight stop. Looking for stronger bounce. Needs to push above the 200. Otherwise, this 200 is going to become resistance, and my play is invalidated. So first level not working out in my favor. Probably gonna get stopped out here. And today I'll probably have to wait for this thing to go at least 2 levels down before I attempt the second long. And I paid with some paper cuts yesterday trying to long a falling knife. So maybe the short play is the play today. Oh, but that stop was a little tighter than I wanted. I thought it was a 25-point stop. That was only a 15-point stop. Ugh. Okay, so that's my mistake. All right, so technically I shouldn't have been stopped out there. I had it way too tight. Let's watch. Good morning, Manny. All right, I'm going to attempt the same entry I had. I had a little too much of a tight stop. Let's see if we can break out of this to the upside. I'll leave the same, well, at this point I'll have to leave it right there. That's my stop. Go. If we're going to consolidate here for a little bit and then push up, I'll give it some time. And all right, 15-minute opening range. Are we breaking out to the downside? Let's see. Morning, Peter. So no bounce at the 200. In fact, we're flushing now below it. So I think I'm going to get stopped out again. And I'll have to see. I mean, if we flush below this, then yeah, I think overnight low will probably be the next test. We'll either participate in a quick scalp to the downside or wait for that 805, 820 area to participate in the bounce. So far, weak bounce if they're trying to bounce it here. That bounce was completely sold right back down. The whole candle was. All right, there goes the push down. So I think at this point we got to wait for this area. Or maybe a little too tight with my stop again. Let's see. I'm going to try the short here at this level. We're going to continue to flush down. Watch it be the bounce now, and go to my plane here, this little area right here. If we get too further above that, then I got to clip it. And I'm gonna have to clip it. See what happens at the 20 SMA. If we don't reject here, then I gotta clip it. Flipping it. Now we're at the pivot point, so I missed the bounce. Man, it got me. Got me. You got me. Was a little playing tricky on that bounce, but that's the play I was looking for. God damn it. God damn it. Tempted to long that bounce twice, and it got me. Wow. Nasty NASDAQ. So how much drawdown should I have? 895. It was a 30-point drawdown. All right, it is what it is. Gotta let it go at this point. Plain rejection of that 200 SMA on the 5-minute. All right, I'm pretty close to tilt today, so this could be the last trade. No rejection at the 200. At least not yet. Tempting to push above that 200. I'm playing the rejection of the 200 SMA on the 5-minute. Potential test of the pivot point down to 910, but so far not convincing. And if we push above this wick, gotta clip it, then I'll have to take a little break. And clipping it there. All right, so some bad decisions this morning. Initially, I was waiting for 970 for the short, didn't front run it, and missed this big play to the downside. Then I played the bounce twice, got caught up in some drawdown. Then finally, when the bounce played out, I was already stopped out. Attempted a short here. This level looks like my stop again being the problem here. And then if we flush down, I'm not going to chase it this time. Might have to give it some time before I enter into tilt. I'm lucky with the timing today. Crazy. Also, some pretty. I think once I realized I missed this short, how clean it was, your mind enters, I gotta capture something. Had the right idea on this long at this level, but stop was a little too tight, and you pay for it. It also dragged the bounce 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes. Usually they happen a little quicker. And then shorted here. Also a tight stop. It's been killing my stops. If we get the flush, I think I got to give it a break and see if we get a stronger move. Otherwise, take a small red day versus trying to chase right now. Right ideas, but a little too tight on the stops. All right, so there was a bounce here at the 9. That could have been the entry right there. That's the NASDAQ. All right, the other thing I can do is wait. If we get another touch of the 9 for a bounce, I can potentially play the 15-minute opening range breakout. I'd have to front run it, so I have some drawdown to give this. All right, let's try the 15-minute opening range breakout. I'll give it, in terms of a stop, the test of the 9 EMA. If this goes downhill, then I'm officially done for the day. That would be Upwards of $1,000 loss across all accounts. $1,000 loss each account. Let's hope that we can get this breakout. And we get a little fake out there. Oh, it's playing nasty today, huh? See if we get the 15-minute opening range breakout. But based on how nasty it's been playing today, it'll give us a nice little fake out trap on a Friday. Tighten the stop here. As the 9 EMA continues to support this, I'll trail my stop. The next resistance level is here. If they really want to break out of that 2-day range that we've been talking about, they got to break out of there. Otherwise, we'll see it fall apart up there and come right back down. Based on NASDAQ's movements the last couple of days, I wouldn't be surprised if we push all the way right up there and then come right back down. Struggling at 960. Next pivot point is at 23,000. 200 SMA on the 15-minute at 980. If we get there. See if she can push. If it falls apart here, then again, unlucky. Just tested the 9 again. At this point, they're pretty close to recovering that whole Canada move, right? Yeah, here's the... No, the Canada move was here. Oh no, they still got ways to go to recover. But who knows? We may get a stronger push. struggling up there. The breakout for the bulls would be breaking out of that 23,000 area and continue towards all-time highs. Otherwise, we'll just either fall apart here or come to this area and then fall apart. See if that 9 EMA holds for the bounce. Of course, when I need it to hold, it doesn't. When I don't need it to hold, it does. And it's looking like they're doing it nasty again. 1, 2, and then woof! Unfreaking believable. Just no luck today. Nasty NASDAQ. If they sell it off here, that'll be nasty. Looks like they're gonna play this dirty today. Tempt everybody with the 15-minute open range breakout, and then woof. If that's the case, I'm done. I'll take my losses and let the market win today. And they're playing it nasty. Wow. Unable to push above 970. 9 EMA not holding. 2 days in a row killed by resistance on the 9 EMA. Now when I need it to do what it needs to do, it doesn't. Oh man. Can't win. Some days you can't win. struggling to break out of this area. Like I said, if they sell it off here, nasty. Some nasty price action that I don't want to be a part of anymore. Had enough. Julian, good morning. All right, there we go. Pivot point is at 23,000. If they can push out of this yellow zone, this is the yellow 823,000 that I've been talking about, then there's a strong move to the upside. If we come up, if we even make it there, if we even make it to here, that's where I'd be watching for either the breakout or fake out. However, the 15-minute opening range is still not, we're still not out of the clear there. It's still consolidating, teasing the 15-minute opening range breakout players. It's done some brutal punishment on orb players, where you get this candle, right? This is your confirmation candle on the opening range, and then it then it brings it right back down. So they're going to do it dirty today. You know, they popped it up, brought it right back down, popped it up, and then they bring it back down. Bro, that's dirty. I'll be done. That's as dirty as it gets. I'll let the stop hit, and I'll call it a day. Wow, they are doing it dirty. It's crazy. They're going to play it dirty today. If they really sell it off, that is as dirty as it gets on a 50-minute opening range breakout. They're going to do it dirty. Wow. That's a 25-point range there, consolidating. It's dirty. Nasty. They've been teasing that opening range now for about 10 minutes. Dirty, dirty. As Peter Chan would say, a lot of use of mental capital.
you gonna do, NASDAQ? What you gonna do? You gonna continue to break hearts here and then just flush it right back down? Be dirty. It'll be as dirty as it gets. Good morning, Rohan 863. All right, NASDAQ tempting again with a breakout, but it's been tempting now for about 10 minutes, breaking out, faking out. Let's see what happens. Ooh. Tempting for breakout. I don't trust it at this point. I don't trust any movements with NASDAQ after what I've seen today. I'll believe it when it truly breaks out. Breakouts are strong, earthy, owner candles. Yeah, like I said, if they truly are playing the fake out here and they sweep this to the downside, that'll be as dirty as it gets. I haven't seen. I mean, NASDAQ is always dirty, but to do something like woof, 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 and then roll back down, it's dirty. It's dirty. It's as dirty as it gets, and you walk out. They've been hinting at this breakout. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced they're going to ride this to the upside. This is looking very trappy for the 15-minute open range breakout play. And you see a brutal, quick flush to the downside. My mic is cracking. Oh, that's not good. Mic is cracking. Oh man, was it cracking the whole time or it just started now? All right, let me try this.
Test. Are we back? How about now? How about the mic? Is it better now or no? All right, next test. Next test is 23,000. We are looking for the breakout out of this range, right? 800 to 2,000. The bulls finally saying, today's the day. We're done with this range. Let's ride this to the moon and help JC out with his bad decisions in the morning. That's what the bulls are saying right now. All right, 23,000. This is where I got to make decisions. Are we going to take, do we need to take a pullback here? grab some profit, wait for the pullback, and enter on a long again. Are they going to break out of this? 23,000 is the key. Let's move this stop a little bit. Let's not get too greedy. We'll get some green. See if we continue. 23,000. Let's not get too greedy, guys. I'm gonna have to make some decisions on clipping this for now. Wait for a pullback, and if the bulls really want to push this up, entertain another long. So let's see what happens on this test of the 9. Hopefully today is the day that the 9 works in my favor. I've been hurt by the 9 2 days in a row, and the 9 do me justice today. This is the breakout area. This is the true breakout area for 23,000. If they're going to play it dirty based on price action we've seen so far, you hit a level, you come right back down. You hit this level, you went right back up. Are they going to play a nasty move back down for a test? At that point, I should take some profit, but let's watch what happens here. $23,000 is the pivot point. Can we get 23,000 touch on this wave before the pullback? If the pullback's going to happen sooner, then may have to grab some profit first, wait for a pullback, and then re-enter. But let's see if that 9 does me justice today. I'm going to move my stop, which is technically some green today, closer to the 20 SMA. In other words, a flush to the 20 SMA, I'm not going to tolerate it. I'll close it there and then re-enter if needed. All right, here goes the pop to 23,000. They need to pop it though. We're at the 5-minute 200 SMA resistance. That's strong resistance. I'm being a little stubborn. Where's the 5-minute? Go. Struggling up there. Testing that 9 again. Let me give myself 3 minutes to make decisions. If we stay in this range here, if we're unable to break, I'm going to give it about 2 more 1-minute candles. Unable to break out. We've been talking about this range, 800 to 23,000. That's the breakout area. Sure, we got a little bit of a 15-minute opening range breakout, but the true breakout is here. Otherwise, this whole thing falls apart. Bulls have been trying to recapture 23,000 and push to all-time highs for most of this week. We had the Canada news. All right, we're trying. We didn't. The only reason I'm not closing is we didn't reject with strength on the 15-minute. Right, that's that 200 SMA on the 15-minute. Usually, you see a stronger rejection, a quick one. We're struggling for sure, but not an immediate rejection at the 200. So if the bulls have strength now, they can push this up. 15-minute is a decent time frame in terms of resistance levels. We seem to be cruising so far. Doesn't mean it won't fall apart, but all right, here we go. 23,000 is the next one, but they need to pop it. Let me continue to move my TP. I'm going to use the 9. Here comes 23,000. Can they push above that? Pivot point is at 23 exactly. Continuing to move. How many points am I giving it below the 9? 982. Allowing test of the 9, and I'm giving it about 6 points. All right, that was my decision making on this range, but we broke out of that range. So let's see if we can continue to hit 23,000. As it moves up, my TP moves up. Watching for a brutal flush. 23,000 about to get hit. And they pop it above and continue. I'm going to switch to the 5-minute to use the 200 SMA in terms of visual for support. Sorry, the 15-minute. That way I can see if the 200 SMA becomes failure. Set it up here real quick. All right, set the screen up. Okay, that screen, and then we go back to the 1 minute. All right, looks like it is failing up there. I'm going to touch the 9. 9 needs to do what it's been doing all week, which is provide support and resistance, depending on the move I'm in. So if it can hold and continue to bounce, then we're good. I'm moving my stop or a TP at this point based on the movements of the 9. In other words, a flush below the 9 would mean the move is over, or at least temporary pullback, and I'm out. Okay, we just hit the pivot point at 23,000. No strong rejection. Can we pop above that pivot point and probably ride it for another 10, 20 points on the greedy side? Otherwise, it falls apart at the pivot point and we take the first pullback. Going to be very tight here because this is the rejection area. Going to get it closer to that 9, not entertaining too much of a pullback. If we pop above that pivot point, 23,000, then I got to make decisions how far I want to ride it before the pullback. Then maybe wait for a pullback or retest of that pivot point and ride another long. That might sound interesting. but being very aggressive with this 9 as it creeps up. All right, here goes the pop above pivot point. No initial rejection yet. May have to test the 9 one more time, but if it flushes below the 9, then my stop gets hit. Pivot point providing some resistance, and they push this straight through on this wave. I'm only concerned about this wave, not taking a pullback. All right, they need to break here. Here's the pivot point. They need to pop it and hold. Come on, pop. Pop. There you go. Can you give me 20 points from a pivot point? Right there. See if we're getting greedy. Otherwise, I'm still in the green, but moving my... I don't want to entertain the flush and the test of the 20. If it does that, then my TP will get hit, and I'll maybe watch if I want to participate in another bounce. But let's see what happens here. That 9 needs to hold and push it. If it flushes below the 9, then my TP gets hit. All right, looks like that's it for this wave. We'll wait for a pullback and see if we want to participate in another long on this. And that 9 hold. Okay, TP hit. We got a little bit of green there. Let's wait how far this goes down and then make decisions if we want to continue to participate on this long, or are they going to do it dirty and bring it right back down? Maybe a 970. I'd be interested down here, possibly, for another entry on a long. struggling at this pivot point. Down to 970, 975. All right, I think I got to figure out how far I'm willing to wait to re-enter on this long before missing the play, or front run it knowing that I can take some drawdown. It's the patience versus impatience decision. In other words, I want to enter around 970, 975 around here. We may not get that, and I may miss the whole move to the upside, which it looks like I'm missing as it is. Will patience be the right move here, or front running it and allowing a wider stop be the better play to not miss the breakout of 23,000? Decisions. Let's front run it. If it drops below the 20, then I'm gonna have to keep it very tight, take a minimal loss on this one. It's good. Tested to 20 and held. But it needs to pop. Okay. Come on, pop. You're gonna have 2 more 1-minute candles. One more 1-minute candle for the pop, and otherwise I gotta get out of this. Touch the 9. Can you bounce from that touch? Or are you going to flush the 9 now? Nine EMA needs to hold. Provide a stronger bounce, but we're not seeing it. New 1 minute candle. Can you bounce from there? Can you bounce? No bounce. And you bounce there. So the 9 and the 20 now becoming resistance. They need to pop above here. Otherwise, we're taking a stronger pullback. And the bulls have faded out. We're testing this breakout level. If they can't hold, and then it's going to come right back down. Jesus Christ. Can't win with you today. We're trying to flush below the 200 on the 15 minute. That's that original level that they broke through freely, but now looks like they're going to sweep it. All right, bulls were not able to get above 23,000. Game over. I'm watching the 75. That's my visual or manual stop, 75 to 70, which is the area I should have waited to go in on this bounce. I front ran it and I'm paying. So I'll watch 970. If we flush below that, I gotta clip it. Now they're attempting to push above the 9 again. They have to push though. Otherwise, 23,000 will be, they're not able to push above 23,000 today. Crazy. And we come back right into this price range that we've been playing in all week. Nasty NASDAQ. We need to push above the 9. 9 is providing now, it was providing the support. Now that 9 is becoming resistance to the upside. King Scalper. King Caesar is King Scalper. You're having a hell of a day. And like I said, if we flush below 970 with a hold, I gotta clip it. That's why I'm using a manual or a visual stop. What I don't want to do is set a stop that just wicks me out. All right, 9 EMA is becoming resistant, which is not good for my position. What you gonna do, nasty NASDAQ? Again, in terms of a stop, I'm looking at this 970 area. If we push with a hold and no wick, I gotta clip it. All right, we're looking to flush now. 2370 is my clip area with a hold. If it just wicks and pops right back up, I'll leave it. Okay, so we touched 72. My hard stop is at 970 with a hold. That's why I don't want to hit. I don't want to set it as a stop. It'll be more of a visual. If we wick and pop, then I'll keep it. If we flush and continue, then I got to clip it. No question. Nine EMA providing that brutal resistance. I've been punished by the 9 EMA all week. And they push above. Every touch on the 9 at this point is becoming resistance. And they come back, and this is the pullback for the breakout of the 23,000 pivot point. Otherwise, it's just a pivot point rejection, and we have further downside. It all depends on them being able to push above the 9 and holding it. That was a good wick. And they push it. Can they push it? If they do push and continue above 23,000, there could be a juicy play in terms of points, which is what I'm banking on. But if it's a failure of the pivot point and these moving averages become resistance, it's just a matter of time before we flop right back down. Not giving it more than 970 area with a hold, and I'll clip at that point my long. Unable to establish above that 9. I'm gonna have nightmares this week with the 9 EMA. I've paid. When it becomes resistance against my position, there's just no saving me. This range has been for the bears and the bulls. Bulls have not been able to push outside of this 800 to 23,000 range, and the bears have not been able to push it below. It's just a crazy range we've been in for like 2 weeks now. Okay, here comes the move to the downside. That 70 area again, I just can't. I gotta clip it at that point. The bounce can happen after that, but I don't care. That'll be my warning. Get the hell out. Call it a day. In the meantime, if you're enjoying the content, do me a favor, help me out with the YouTube algo. Smash that like, smash that subscribe button. I trade every day. NASDAQ, win, lose, or draw. Today looks like a loss. All right, let's see if we hold below 70, and at that point, bye-bye. Hey now. All right, watching. If there's no bounce here, I gotta clip it. They did it dirty. They did it dirty. All right, guys, that is it for today. Taking a red day, tried to battle it, still ended up $1,300 in the red across all accounts. Not interested if we get the bounce there. Just too many bad decisions, bad timing, or unlucky on timing. It is what it is, part of trading. So we're taking a loss. Take it into chin. Enjoy the weekend. That is it for me today. I will see you all on Monday. No need to push it. My daily loss limit is around 2,500 annual daily loss limit. I'm at about 1,200 in the red, which is half of my daily loss limit. Not pushing it any further. Got to learn to walk away. Not in sync with it, just not my timing. Had some good ideas and timing killed me today. Have a great weekend. Thanks for tuning in. I will see you guys on Monday. Enjoy the weekend. If you're in the red, walk out. If you got some nice green, walk out. Most of you probably won't. Get some more green, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Have a great one.